Hello guys. Welcome sa PSE Byte series natin. Sa episode na to, pag-aaralan natin ang konsepto ng support and resistances. So, wala nang paligoy-ligoy. Next slide. Alright, so, unang-una, ano nga ba ang support line at resistance line? And ano ang kanilang pinagkaiba? Okay, so, by definition, ang support line is yung range kung saan nagre-react or nagre-resist ang ating price. Meaning, kapag ang price is malapit or nakadikit sa support line, kinokontra niya ito sa patuloy na pagbagsak ng price. Imagine na parang may sumasalo sa price natin. Yung sumasalo na yan, yan yung mga buyers natin. So, ibig sabihin, at this level, mainit ang mata ng mga tao dyan at maraming naghihintay na mamili sa stocks na yan at this level. Similarly, yung resistance line naman natin, as the name implies itself, nire-resist niya yung patuloy na pag-angat or pag-akyat ng presyo ng stock natin. Bakit? Bakit siya nagre-resist? Kasi dito naman, sa level naman na to, dito naman nagbebenta yung mga may-ari ng stock, yung mga nakabili. Yung mga nakabili near the support line. Alright. So, para mas maintindihan natin, imaginein na lang natin na yung floor natin is yung support. And yung kisame natin, yun naman yung resistance. Tapos parang may bola tayo na sabihin natin yun naman yung price. Tapos yung bola, for example, binitawan natin, anong mangyayari, di ba? Yung bola is magba-bounce back against the floor. So yun yung reaction ng price natin sa support. So once nag-bounce yan, parang yung action na to is sabihin natin bounce. Ito yung reaction ng price sa support natin. And then, for example, malakas yung bounce and umabot sa ceiling. Ipo-push back naman nun nung ceiling natin or kisame. So, ito naman yung action yung saan pinu-push back ng resistance yung price. Si resistance, ulit na lang natin, push the price below while the support pushes the price upward. So, parang binabound niya yung price within a certain range. Kaya tinatawag din yung environment na to is tinatawag din sideways kind of environment or ranging. Kasi yung price is nagta-travel lang within a range. So yung range na yun is yung range between the resistance and the support. Alright? So sa example na to, may dalawang set tayo ng resistance and support. This is the first resistance, this is the support. Tapos nung na-break yung support natin, meaning hindi kinaya ng mga buyers yung number of nagbebenta. So bumigay yung level na to, and then what happens, yung old support natin is naging new resistance, and then may bago tayong support. So as you see here, makikita natin na yung lumang support natin naging bagong resistance. Kasi tignan mo dito, umakyat yung price at this range, nag-resist siya dito at this level. For simplicity, gagawin na lang natin is we will call all as resistance, both support and resistance. Kasi even yung trend lines kasi natin is resistance din. And pati yung moving average and Fibonacci lines, lahat yan, we will call resistances. Pero since hindi pa natin na-discuss yung trend lines and moving averages, we will call as is na lang muna. Favorite part natin is how to draw resistances in sideways or ranging market. So, paano pa drawing ng resistance line? Una, gumamit tayo ng tick line or like, kung ano yung ginagamit ko dito is rectangles. Then, identify mo yung mga pivot points. So, for example, this one here, itong mga na-circle nito is yung mga na-identify ko as pivot points. So, pivot point is where nag-change ng direction si price. So, from here, rising siya, and then, when it reaches a certain level, nag-fall na yung price. So, this one is an example of pivot point. Our goal is to identify the pivot points within the range. And then, next step is use horizontal lines to connect the pivot points. So, take note lang na horizontal line, hindi diagonal. So, for example, medyo mahirap siyang i-connect. So, pag napapansin mong medyo nagda-diagonal na yung horizontal line mo, ang diskarte dyan is gawin mo thicker yung horizontal line. Kasi, hindi naman eksakto rin yan. So, para to take care of the margin of error, always use a thicker resistance line. So, many instances sa sideways environment na marami kang madodraw na horizontal lines. So, para mas malinis, always consider using the outer bounds. Ito, outer bounds. And then this one. Kasi kapag inner lines ang ginamit mo, mas maliit yung probability na mag-resist yung price. Kasi, bakit? Kasi for example, kapag halimbawa nandito ka, magbebenta ka ba? Pwede, pero 50-50 yung chance. Kasi pwedeng mag-resist siya dito sa upper resistance. Or pwedeng mag-resist na siya dito. So, since 50-50 lang yung chance mo, ang mas maganda dyan is take no action. So, once na pumunta siya sa outer na resistance line, dito mas magandang magbenta. Kasi for sure, more than 50% yung probability nito na magre-resist. Next is punta naman tayo sa trend lines. So, gaya ng sabi ko kanina, hindi lang horizontal lines ang resistances. Pwede ring diagonal lines. Imagine na, ito yung for example ng trend line. So, imagine na wala tong purple line na to. Paano natin malalaman na nasa trending environment tayo? Well, just by looking at the price, if you look at it from left to right, you will know na yung price has traveled up. So, makyat yung price. Kaya trending siya. In contrary naman, kapag nasa sideways environment ka, if titignan mo from left to right, hindi siya nag-travel masyado. For example here, titigin ka from left to right, kung nasan siya sa left, ganun din yung presyo niya to the right. So, anong nangyari is hindi siya nag-travel masyado by price. So, nag-travel lang siya by time or nag-duration lang siya. Okay, next. So, dito makikita natin na may 3 types ng trending environment. So, meron tayong stocks which are traveling by 45 degrees, 60 degrees, or even 90 degrees. Ito medyo hindi halatang 90 degrees, pero since greater than 60 degrees, yung trend line natin, I consider it na 90 degrees na. So, sa ngayon, we will not discuss how we are going to trade each specifically. Pero just be aware na we will trade these 3 types differently. So, how to draw a trend line? So, para sa mga nagsisimula pa lang, no, I advise to label the points. For example, so we have to identify at least 4 points. In this example, A, B, C, D. And this is a rule. So, ibig sabihin, D needs to be always higher than B. So, yung D natin, dapat higher siya kaysa kay B. And C must be higher than A. So, how to draw yung pivot is dapat sequential order siya. So, kung susundin mo yung nag-swing high, yung price, from the starting point na A, nag-swing high siya. Oops, pivot point, yan yung B natin. And then, nag-swing low. Oops, ito na yung another pivot point natin, C. And then, swing high. Yan yung pang-apat na point natin. So, this here, higher, D must be higher than B. And then C must be always higher than A. Connect A and C with a diagonal line. The price reacts at the diagonal line, which is our trend line or our resistance line. So, in here, we can see buyers buying the stock and at this point. And so, just to make it short and para ma-ingest natin ng mabuti yung info, no? We will end the video now. Pero watch out for the next one kasi we will discuss how to use Fibonacci to draw resistances. And then number 2, we will answer bakit natin tinitrade yung mga sideways or ranging. And on the other hand, bakit natin ititrade yung mga trending environment. So hanggang dito muna tayo. Basics lang muna and then eventually pupunta tayo sa setups and then actual trade. So step by step lang. Alright, bye-bye. Thank you.